As a healthcare professional who works at a hospital, I have helped care for individuals with bipolar disorder who are either severely manic or depressed. I found it extremely disheartening that these individuals have to rely on medications to decrease the severity of their symptoms that have such detrimental side effects, such as eventual liver failure and emotional numbness. It made me determined to find if there were small natural changes an individual could make to decrease and help manage the inevitable and unpredictable shifts into detrimental manic and depressive episodes. This film is my attempt at trying to show the connection between the gut microbiome and bipolar disorder so that individuals facing this disease can further manage it more successfully and live happy and productive lives.
Yesterday was incredible. I had the best day ever, and fucking everything was great. And then it's hard to look at myself right now. So I went to my parents' house, and I just felt extreme irritation out of nowhere, and I needed gum and I needed water, and I just couldn't talk. And I'm sorry, I hate the way I look right now. So I was driving. I left. I didn't stay for very long, and I was driving, and it was like I could feel the whole mood switch. It was just like,
Bipolar disorder is a chronic mental illness that affects over 3 million people a year. It causes clear changes in mood, energy, activity levels, concentration, appetite, and the ability to carry out day-to-day activities. There is no known cause and no known cure for the disease. The average age of onset is about 25, but it can occur in the teens, or more uncommonly in childhood. The condition affects men and women both equally, with about 2.8% of the U.S. population diagnosed with bipolar disorder and nearly 83% of the cases classified as severe, according to the National Alliance on Mental Illnesses. People in manic episodes may be feeling very up, high, elated, or irritable, or touchy. They also may feel jumpy or wired, and have a decreased need for sleep. They also might have a loss in appetite. They may talk very fast about a lot of different things at once. They may feel like their thoughts are racing. They feel like they can do a lot of things at once as well. And they do risky things that show poor judgment, such as eat and drink excessively, spend or give away a lot of money, or have reckless sex. They also may feel like they are unusually important, talented, or powerful. Contrarily, people having a depressive episode may feel very sad, down, empty, worried, or hopeless. They also may feel down or restless. They may have trouble falling asleep or wake up too early or sleep way too much. They can experience an increased appetite and weight gain. They may talk very slow and feel like they have nothing to say or forget a lot. They may have trouble concentrating or making decisions. They may feel unable to do even simple things. They may have little interest in almost all activities, a decreased or absent sex drive, or an inability to experience pleasure. They also may feel hopeless or worthless and think about death or suicide. If your family has a history of mood disorders, this greatly increases your chances of developing bipolar disorder since it's a genetic disease. Treatment includes a balance of drugs such as Depakote and lithium, which are mood stabilizers, and psychotherapy. And although bipolar disorder is a chronic mental illness that has no known cure, This treatment can help an individual reduce the symptoms and live a very productive life. Since bipolar disorder is a genetic disease, it cannot be prevented. What can be prevented, though, is the relapse into extreme, detrimental manic and depressive episodes. These episodes can be prevented by eating a healthy, balanced diet, exercising regularly, getting adequate and regular sleep, and routinely taking prescribed medication. What many people don't know is the effect our microbiome has on bipolar disorder and vice versa. According to a study done by the University of Michigan, there is a significant difference between the gut microbiome of healthy individuals and those with bipolar disorder. The consistency of investigations linking specific gut microbes to mood and behavior suggests that the lower gut microbes may be predictive of illness relevant to a depressed state. These data suggest the implementation of supplement or nutritional strategies that can therapeutically increase beneficial organisms such as Faecalibacterium in bipolar disorder patients may be beneficial to reducing disease burden. Similarly, researchers from Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine designed an interesting study to determine if probiotics could help people discharge from the hospital after a manic flare-up and avoid rehospitalization. The study randomized 66 patients with bipolar disorder who were hospitalized for mania and divided them into two groups of 33 patients. They gave a probiotic combination of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium species to one group and a placebo to the second group. They asked all patients to continue taking their regular medications for bipolar disorder and followed them for a total of 24 weeks. Before the start of the study, the researchers identified which patients had higher marks of inflammation, that is, people with more overall inflammation in the body. The results were striking. The rates of rehospitalization were 51.1% in the placebo group and 24.2% in the group who took probiotics. On average, the reduction in readmission was 74% lower in the probiotic combination compared with the placebo arm of the study. The most significant finding was an almost 90% reduction of hospitalization in the group with the highest inflammation score who took probiotics. Additionally, patients who took probiotics and were rehospitalized stayed in the hospital on average 2.8 days compared with 8.3 days for those taking placebo. Since bipolar disorder has no known cause, you cannot prevent the disease itself, but you can decrease the severity of manic and depressive episodes through your diet, which directly affects your gut microbiome. According to Harvard Health Publishing, 90% of serotonin receptors are in your gut. There is an anatomical and physiologic two-way communication between the gut and brain via the vagus nerve. So what you eat directly affects your mood, meaning you may not be able to prevent manic or depressive episodes, but you can definitely decrease the severity of them through your diet. Harvard Health Publishing also has suggestions for a healthier gut and improved mood. They suggest eating whole foods and avoiding packaged or processed foods that are high in unwanted food additives and preservatives that disrupt the healthy bacteria in the gut. Instead of vegetables or fruit juice, they ask you to consider increasing your intake of fresh fruits and vegetables. They also recommend eating enough fiber and include whole grains and legumes in your diet. Also, probiotic-rich foods such as plain yogurt without added sugars are very beneficial to your gut microbiome. Another study done by Harvard suggests that eating a healthy, balanced diet, such as the Mediterranean diet, and avoiding inflammation-producing foods may be protective against depression. They found that nutrients such as oysters, mussels, salmon, watercress, spinach, romaine lettuce, cauliflower, and strawberries are beneficial in preventing depression. A better diet can help, but it's only one part of treatment. It's important to note that just like you cannot exercise out of a bad diet, you also cannot eat your way out of feeling depressed or anxious or manic. We should be careful about using food as the only treatment for mood. And when we talk about mood problems, we are referring to mild and moderate forms of depression and anxiety and mania. In other words, food is not going to impact serious forms of depression and thoughts of suicide or mania. And it is important to seek treatment in an emergency room or contact your doctor if you're experiencing thoughts about harming yourself. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, bipolar disorder affects 1% of the world's population, 2.8% of the population in the United States, and 4% of the population in Colorado. The mortality rate is 210 people die due to bipolar disorder per 10,000 people, which is about 2.1% in the world, the United States, and in Colorado. This is mostly due to the individuals having an increased risk of suicide and poor lifestyle habits, such as lack of exercise, poor diet, and an increase in smoking and drug use. Overall, the symptoms of bipolar disorder can be reduced through taking probiotics and maintaining a healthy microbiome, which can significantly improve the lives of people living with bipolar disorder.